Harry the Big Dog here with the DJ interview. We are here on Tuesdays, 8 p.m. ish Eastern Time. For those who don't know what 8 p.m. ish is, it is any time between 8 and 9 o'clock. Really 8 o'clock and 8:59 p.m. So, let's get this thing started. So I get a question all the time, where do you stream to? Every time I'm getting an interview or something like that. So I figure let me let you guys know. We broadcast, when I do broadcast live, I broadcast live to Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, Mixcloud, and many, many more. So there it is. There it is. Let's put some music on so we can get this thing going. Yeah. Alright, this is royalty free music, so I ain't gonna get shut down, so don't worry about it. But today, what I want to talk to you about is, if you read the title, it's about getting more DJ gigs. Can you actually get more DJ gigs with what I'm about to tell you? So, let me put some up. Let me show my name. So now, I've read this article, and I'll give you the website in a second. I read this article about DJs getting more gigs, or how to get more gigs as a DJ. Some of it I did vibe with, but some of it, maybe it needs to be updated. So I'm just going to give you my take on a few of them. So right here is the contents. Be unique, be professional, build your brand, make sure promoters know you exist, accept every gig you can get. That's one of the things I don't agree with. Unless you're a beginner and you're making this your main money maker. Because all of us, when we started out, we had to do some stuff for free. And you're probably going to have to do a couple of those before you actually get paid. So if you're doing this as a full-time, just starting out, I don't know how many I would do. If you're a seasoned veteran, we don't accept every gig you can get. We just don't, because some are in shady areas. Some people's money is shady. Some people are shady. So, get an agent. I do believe after a while you should get one, but if in the beginning, I don't think so. I think you just need to get out there and network. Get feedback online, yes. Meet other DJs and share knowledge and contacts. That's what this DJ interview platform is for, where I just told you we're streaming on. So, yes, I do agree with that. Be versatile and flexible. You have to be. Offer sets for free, and that's what I was talking about when accepting every gig. When you're a new DJ, yes, you do have to do that. Even let me take that back. Even when you're a veteran, you can offer a free benefit gig for something special, or somewhere you may want to get into, or may want to get in good with a promoter or a venue, something like that. Then I can see that, but not too many of them, because this equipment and everything, your time gas to get there, depending on where you are, tolls, flights, all of that costs money. And depending on where you're going, it could cost you a pretty penny to do something for free. So be mindful of that. Support nightclubs and events you aspire to work at. I do believe that. Be excuse me, be brash without annoying people. Yeah, some people are hard. Some people don't know how to talk. Most DJs are skilled and they have the musical playing ear, but they're not really sociable. So they don't know how to talk to people. So get used to that. What I want to touch on is the number 2 and number 3. So right here, be professional and build your brand. So being professional, it kind of goes without saying, but you probably have to say it anyway. Respect everybody. Watch your language, depending on who you're around. I do use bad language a lot, but not on this platform because of where I can have this thing shown at. I cannot have this shown in a barbershop with kids, or somebody listen to this episode of DJ interview or any episode. If I'm cursing up a storm, they're just gonna cut this thing right off. Female DJs with kids got they can actually play this in their car with the kids in there. Kids might not know what's going on, but you won't hear any of the bad language. And I do ask the DJs that I bring on to do interviews to keep the bad language down to a minimum. If you have to, go ahead, but just, I'd rather you not. And most of them agree. Then when we talk offline, we actually talk real. So being professional, I'm looking at my other screen now. This guy, I don't know who he is, but go there to the website that I just put up, djinterview.xyz/get more DJ gigs. I don't know who this person is, but it is a really good article. So go ahead and read it, and you'll get some things out of it. But I'm looking at this screen now. It's saying DJing is so much more than mixing and blending music. You have to really vibe with the people that you are going for. You really have to get along with people. You cannot be a butthole and expect the whole world. There's a few of them out there, and they get away with it because of their names, most likely. But everybody is not going to get away with it. People can replace you. I can replace you with another DJ who has some sense and manners if I want. So going along with this thing, and this is where I wanted to get to with this. Be polite. Don't think you could win an argument with a promoter. It's just some of them, they do have power, and they have the power to replace you. Not saying you gotta bow down to them and do everything. If it feels wrong, then get out of there, because that person is probably not for you. Another one, be generous. Promoters like DJs who are willing to go the extra mile. Yes, to a certain extent. Going the extra mile too many times, now it's expected of you, and you're not getting compensated, or never will get compensated for it. That's not a good thing either. Offer your services as a backup. Yes, I do agree with that. Long time ago, was it Sprite or one of the non-caffeine colas was promoting themselves as an alternative to a Coke or Pepsi. And people went for it. So yeah, sometimes their main DJ may not be able to show up, being that you reached out and said, hey, if your DJ or your main person doesn't show up, I could be available to do this thing. If they call you an hour before and you're not ready, then, that just doesn't happen. But if they give you enough time and this is something you want to do or get in good cahoots with this person, venue, or promoter, then yes, by all means, do that. Be on time. That is one of the critical things of being a DJ. We come from different places. I used to DJ, when I DJ'd, I used to live in the Bronx, but most of my gigs was in Queens and Brooklyn. So I had to be mindful of traffic. Everybody that's in New York knows New York traffic. It could be clear or packed. You just never know. So you want to make sure you're early, especially if you're picking up other people. You want to get there a little early to get a feel of it, to not just come out your vehicle, set up, and then be ready to play. Some of us need a little, give me a second, give me a minute, give me 30 minutes to just unwind and get ready for this event. So being on time is very important. Staying sober. I ran into this a couple of times where the DJ was so tore down that he was messing up the music, and somebody had to go tell them. That is very embarrassing for you, the promoter, or the venue that you're DJing for, because they brought you in. Going above and beyond, yes and no. Going above and beyond means playing good music all the time, then yes. If it means, let me get a good example. If it means staying extra hours or extra 4 hours and you ain't getting paid for it, you may want to think about something like that. Keeping the promoter happy, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do. Some weeks back, we had some event planners on, and they explained, what they look for in a DJ. So go check that episode out. But keeping them happy, yes. they usually are stressed out about the event. They don't need to tack you on to their stresses. So definitely, keep them happy to a point. Don't break your back for them or anything, but keep them happy to a point. Bring backup equipment. Before, back in the day with the needles, and people still use needles, but a lot of DJs are using controllers now, so they don't have to worry about needles. A lot of them are using the Rain 12s or something similar to that. So the needles are the phase. The needles are, not anything you have to worry about. But if you still are using needles, make sure you have an extra set. Even when you're DJing on these computers can break at the drop of a dime. They can freeze up or anything, or just feel like they don't want to work no more. Make sure you have backup. Maybe, your music got corrupted, or you don't have Wi-Fi in a place. Make sure you have extra music where you can just have a thumb drive or an external hard drive and just be able to plug it in. Some people work off everything off of their computer, but if the computer goes down, you're kind of stuck. Being versatile, yes, things change all the time. If you've been DJing any amount of time, you do know this, that things change, times change, venues change. Sometimes it gets canceled, and you know, if you got a down payment, you may have to give that back, and you may have already incorporated it into paying something or paying for something. So be versatile and everything. Keep in touch with the promoter. That's one of the things I wanted to touch on. You know, it's not that you're bugging them or something. You're to send a simple text that says, "Hey, what's up, bro? Just checking in." Something like that. They get back to you, "Hey, good to hear from you. I'm doing this event here. You want to come down if you ain't got nothing to do?" You know, you may get those type of things. Offering a recording of your set. I don't know if people do that. You know, put in the comments, the DJs who are watching, put in the comments if you do that or not, because I don't know. I've been so disconnected from doing gigs. I'm only going off the knowledge that I've had previous. One of the other things that I wanted to touch on is building your brand. You know, this thing here says it used to be for a nerd. I wouldn't say a nerd, but back in the day, there was no, Facebook. There was not internet. Internet didn't come into the early 90s for us older cats. And even when it came, that was AOL and dial-up. Who uploaded music back then? Not too many people was DJing online or had all types of social medias where they can post everything. But back in the day, it was you practiced in your house, people recommended you, and you did parties. And then you got recommended based off how good you did off of those parties. So definitely keep that in mind, because nowadays that's flipped. Nowadays you have to get yourself out there. I'm not saying or promoting playing music on platforms that don't want you there. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, they all have policies that they have to follow for copyrighted music. I know DJs get mad and everything, and some DJs I'll play until they cut me off. What may happen in the future is you do it too much and they're just going to delete your account. So anything you ever did, if you had an account with one of these social medias since 2007, everything you did is going to be wiped out. Every post you made, every picture you uploaded, every piece of video you upload, it's going to be gone. For those of you who follow the Avengers, that Thanos snapped and wiped out. That's the power they have. You're on their platform. You have to follow their rules. So I'm not promoting doing a DJ set on those platforms, your LinkedIns, your Facebooks, your Instagrams. Those are the three main ones. Twitter and a couple other ones. Twitch even is getting real strict on it. I just got a notice a couple of weeks ago about their policies about copyrighted music. And they're getting, because the record companies are probably getting on them because they're getting bigger. So, but in saying that, they do have platforms where you can go. They are paid, they're not free, so you're gonna have to invest in yourself. You have, for one, Mixcloud. I stream on Mixcloud right now. I'm streaming to Mixcloud. And it's going to be live in video. After the live feed cuts off, then it turns into an audio. So your music and everything will still be there. SoundCloud is another good one. PlayDJ.tv is another one. You just have to go set up your accounts and be able to upload your music. And then if you're not doing a paid thing, it's limited. So SoundCloud and PlayDJ.tv, they're limited when you don't pay. So one of the other things, this talks about it too, SoundCloud and Mixcloud. So we already touched on that. One of the other things you can do, you don't have to really have a full-blown website. You can have a one-page website that has everything that people need to see. Your picture, a couple of links to a Mixcloud or a SoundCloud so people can hear how you DJ, or some video with I guess you can put some take out the music, take out the sound from the video and sync it to some royalty-free music, which YouTube and Facebook already has. If you check, they already have a library of royalty-free music in all genres. What you're hearing in the background is the software that I use, Restream. They have royalty-free music which you can play and it's just a good vibe thing. You're just not listening to a person talk and there's air in the background. I kind of like the music in the background because it gets me in a different mode. So definitely a one-page website, or what they call a squeeze page, landing page, where it's you and how they can reach you, or enter an email address or enter some contact info. And we'll touch on that a little bit later because I'm working on a couple of things for a specific amount of DJs. But some of that you can do, and what this is saying here, you can take the SoundCloud and Mixcloud embeds and put it in your website. And make sure you grab your name. Don't let anybody grab your name as a domain name. Whatever you are, DJWhoeverYouAre.com. See if you can get the .com first. Make sure you grab your name, even if you don't ever use a website. And this is what I tell all my clients too. When you're doing this, go and register for all the platforms, even if you're not going to use them. And that's so nobody can take your name if you ever decided to use them. So go ahead and do that. I know some people, like, I'm not a big Instagram person because the way I shoot, the way this platform is, it kind of squeezes how the video looks on Instagram. So half of the video will be cut off, and I just don't do it. Instagram, hopefully in the future they will open up their platform for services like this so we can multi-stream to there, but we'll wait for it. So with that, also in saying Instagram, go put your name, register for your account, do your regular name, and then do a business, your DJ name, if that's what you are into. Make sure you do the business account as your DJ name, because when you get certain amount of followers and everything, a couple of more analytics open up and a couple of more things. I don't want to get geeky on you guys, but a couple of more features open up to you as a business account. So make sure you're posting. Now, this one of the things I I agree and don't agree with this. It says in one of these places, it says post every gig that you do. Yes, I do agree, but you are a real person too. So post some other stuff too. Not just when you're out somewhere and then you never engage with anybody or never post anything else. Then people will stop following you because you're not user friendly. Let's just say that. You're not liking my posts. You're not commenting on my stuff. So you want me to comment on yours whenever you feel like posting or you're at a gig. This is a two-way street. So you have to give and take with this. And I do recommend just staying with a couple of social medias. At one time I would have said, your YouTube and Instagram, but Twitter has come on up. But, YouTube and not YouTube, Facebook and Instagram are one platform. If you go into what they call their creator studio, you can actually send stuff out to both. Send posts out, send videos out, as long as they're formatted for Instagram first. Either the long way, which is the portrait, 9:16. Yes, they do 16:9, which is what we're looking at now, 16:9. That's how everybody watches TV. I don't know who watches TV with their screen up and down. So my rant. But make sure when you're doing that and you're scheduling a post and you're sending it to both, make sure it's Instagram friendly, because some of them may not look right on Instagram. Facebook, YouTube, and a couple of them are more friendly with the different sizes. Let's check and see. You got Twitter. For those of you who use Twitter, I do stream to Twitter, but I'm not an active Twitter user. So this is one I wanted to get into, maybe another video. I don't want this thing to go too long. So make sure your promoter knows you exist. And I may do that another episode of this DJ interview. I'm gonna cut this off here. I am so glad that you guys kind of hung out with me for a little bit and just kind of listen to my rant and my thoughts. Put in the chat your thoughts on what you read and what I said, my views, if I'm right, if I'm wrong, or if you want to add something else, just put that in the chat. Definitely would love to hear from you. This is Harry the Big Dog, and this is the DJ interview. We will be back Tuesday, 8ish Eastern time. Let's get out of here.